Welcome, welcome.
Welcome all.
We're going to give people just another minute to arrive. I see people coming in. Welcome.
Number of participants are rising.
Mhm.
We're at 44. We're expecting quite a few people to be on today's call. And we're very happy that y'all are here. As you're joining, go ahead and drop into chat where in the world you are zooming in from.
We would love to know who's with us. Okay. Chattanooga. Oh, nice. Boston, Sarah. I was there for 20 years. Turkey. Love it.
Luxembourg, Toronto, Portland. I just flew back from Portland yesterday.
Netherlands.
India, South Wales, New Haven.
Connecticut. Germany. Love this. We have a truly international group here.
Matt from Chicago, sunny Chicago. That's exciting.
Beautiful.
I'm from San Fran. I'm based and currently zooming in from San Francisco.
Nigeria. Hi, Alberto. Baton Rouge. All right. Well, it's time. I think we should get started with this Power of Coactive Coaching webinar. So welcome. I'm excited to be here. My name is Shannon Kelly, and I'm faculty for the Coactive Training Institute. I've been on the faculty for about 10 years, and I live in Sonoma, California.
And I'm in San Francisco, so close to Shannon. We're a few miles apart. I also am on faculty here at CTI. I'm a coach, and we get to be in classrooms kind of like this. Our goal here is to replicate a bit of what the coactive classroom is like for you today. Yeah. What else would you like them to know about you, Shannon?
Uh, I've been a coach for many years. I coach in organizations. I coach for myself. I work with coaches. I work with solopreneurs. I work with conscious leaders. It's been the coactive is really the foundation of all my work. So what I really love about this model is after thousands of hours of using it and thousands of people coached and trained, I can say it really works. It works with everyone, and it's a wonderful foundation for and partner with any other kind of work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of us use this. Well, coactive is not only a coaching model, but it's a leadership model. It's a relationship model. You can use this thing everywhere. Let's see, I ended up in a CTI classroom about 10 years ago in the fundamentals course at the tail end of my tech career. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to become a coach, barely knew what coaching was, but I just had this like suspicion that maybe coaching had something to do with what was next for me. And I'm very glad that I followed that tiny inkling because yeah, going through the curriculum totally changed the trajectory of my life. And so here we are to
Here
share
we
it with
are.
you.
And we want to know, so another little chat moment, we want to know like what would make this hour a just magnificent use of your time? What would you like to get? Just drop something in the chat. We'll do our best. No promises.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we like to do at Coactive is like be intentional with our time because it's valuable. So we want you to kind of drop into whatever that is for you. So we're getting an overview of coaching, something inspiring. Darlene will do our best.
Mhm.
Wendy, just to see how our coaching model works. Yeah, totally.
Yep, coaching session in action, you got that. Inspiration, we hope so. You let us know. See
Yeah.
it's coaching.
Yeah, Gemma's interested in a coaching demo. Yeah, it's so fun to be on a fly on the wall for coaching demos. I still love watching coaching demos. Yeah.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
why don't we tell you what we're going to be doing? And we only have an hour. So if you think about it, our core curriculum courses, our fundamentals course is 2.5 days. Our whole core curriculum courses are um, 5 3-day programs, and then we have a 6-month certification. So we have a tall order here to do an hour, but here's what you can expect. You're going to super briefly learn what coaching is. We're going to show you a coaching tool that we use. You're going to witness a live demo. You'll experience some skills. We'll do a debrief, like what did Gina do? She's going to be doing the demo. And then you'll get some questions answered.
And we want you to know that everything that we're up to today is not rehearsed. Nothing is scripted. It's very much that way in the coactive classrooms. We're always teaching the same frameworks and coaching skills, but the delivery is meant to be quite fluid, as is the coactive coaching model. So we will be. Yeah, go ahead, Shannon, go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, this is a perfect example. We're improv artists. So,
Yeah.
The two of us, you'll always have two leaders. The two leaders work together. Sometimes we'll interrupt each other, or we'll add, or, subtract. And it's not scripted. So we're really just, we call it blending and leading.
Yeah.
And so you'll always have this format. And it's improvisational, just as our coaching model, our coaching is improvisational. So we don't have, kind of a formulaic, here's the questions that you ask every session. It's really about relationship. And so nothing in this webinar is scripted, and nothing in the coactive coaching relationship is scripted.
That's right. And the beauty of getting to see so many different faculty coaches through the course of a curriculum, you get to see the range of coaching styles. So same kind of toolkit, but applied in ways that are unique to the person delivering them.
As Gina mentioned, the coaching in this webinar will not be confidential. Usually in our classrooms, we hold confidentiality. We have a volunteer who knows that this will be recorded and put on our website and shared. So they don't know, we don't know their topic, and they haven't been really prepared in any way. So they're going to be a fresh client, but they know that they're going to be the client. So.
Yeah. And our volunteer is bringing a real topic from their real life to this session.
Yeah. Yeah. As are all of our clients and all of our practice. So when we teach, we ask our participants to bring real topics, so that it's real coaching. So we don't role play. It's real. So an added benefit, I think, of doing our work is that you get to learn coaching skills, and you also get some coaching along the way and some personal growth along the way. So
yeah, you are in there practicing on day one, a couple hours into the courses, you get to coach and play around. Yeah, it's meant to be experiential all the way through.
Great.
What is coaching?
What is coaching? So this is the ICF's definition. It's partnering with individuals in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential.
Oh, yeah, So that and the coach, the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, is like the governing body of the coaching industry, and Coactive is in alignment with ICF. It's what has us be an ICF accredited organization. And a simple way that I like to think about this is closing the gap from where someone is to where they would most like to be. And
Mhm.
coaching addresses the space in between.
And coactive coaching specifically addresses not only what they want to do more of, but what they want to be more of, or sometimes even less of. More to come on that. But one of the things that I really love about coactive is that holding, more than just checking off items on a to-do list or meeting big goals, although that happens. But how do I want to grow as a human being? What do I want to take care of in me as that happens?
Yeah.
So
And
more
what will
to
that even take? A lot of clients haven't had the space, I mean, I'm guessing many of us on this call can relate. It's hard to have the space to even figure out what those things are that Shannon was describing, what would make things a little more easy, a little more fulfilling, or a lot more. So coaching work supports that.
Yeah, and so something that I really want to encourage you, if you're very new to coaching, is when the demonstration happens, is to, watch, ask yourself what's different about this and maybe some of the other conversations that happen, in work, in life, in other service, you know. So just, really pay attention to like what is partnering, in this context, and what's thought-provoking and creative about this, and what's having them maximize. So to really see it in action, I think makes this definition come alive.
Yeah, I love that, Shannon. Pay attention to the quality of listening and the nature of the questions, because it's a little different than other support roles that you may have occupied or been a part of. So for instance, mentoring or consulting. Coaching just has a bit of a different flavor. So just like see what you notice about this particular flavor of being with someone.
Yeah. So we're going to introduce a simple tool called the Wheel of Life. And what I love about this tool is it's the most kind of basic assessment snapshot to kick off our coaching relationship. And it contains 8 sections. We always say customize it to how you prefer. And you measure that. You have a client just measure, what's my level of satisfaction in these areas on this day, maybe even in this moment, right? So this is not a, lifelong map. It could change day to day.
And it will.
And it will.
Yeah, and the reason we like to use this, a lot of us, as Shannon said, I do the same. I use it early on in the coaching relationship. It's a really quick and easy way to just get a snapshot of current level of satisfaction in the big picture of someone's life. So in collective coaching, we have a cornerstone called focus on the whole person. So even in cases where, like, Shannon and I both have, executive and leadership clients, even with those clients, I will give them this snapshot because, for better or worse, each area impacts the other. And the goal here isn't to get 10s across the board. The goal here is to just have some consciousness around, okay, here's where I'm putting a lot of my attention, and that's good. Actually, this wedge, I'm great with my career at a 5. I've worked really hard to get it to get it, up from 2 over the last 2 years. And I'm really proud of the friends and family wedge. I've seen some, improvement there. So it's really just a way to, for the client to have a reflection of where am I now? And then of course for us to understand as coaches.
And it's really personal to the client around what does their level of satisfaction mean. So for example, significant other, like maybe the person doesn't have one and they're thrilled with being single. They love it. They might be at a 9 or a 10. So It's also what I love about it is it's a very neutral map, and the client, it's a great jumping off point for a deep conversation about any one of these wedges with a client.
Yeah. And you do, and Jacqueline's asking if there's a blank template. As a student, you do get one. You can very simply draw this as a circle, do an X and a plus. You'll have 8 pie wedges and just fill them in. Would actually encourage you to do this for yourself right now. Kind of jot down these areas of life and just see from 1 to 10, where am I today at, let's see, 8:45 Pacific time in terms of my satisfaction.
Yeah. Yeah, so try it for yourself. I was just noticing, thank you to our lovely Coactive Tech host. We have a coaching toolkit as well that has an empty wheel. So, but honestly, you can just say to your client, okay, draw a circle, as Gina said, cut it into 8 pie slices and label it this way. And, so, but a nice looking one is available in a toolkit. Oh, there you go.
Thanks, team.
All right.
Well, shall we?
We shall.
Okay. I heard some of y'all are here to see a demo, a coaching demo, and I am here to fulfill that. We have a generous and brave volunteer client, whose name is Maria. Maria, if you can come on down. Maria and I have not yet met, so we're meeting for the first time now. And we'll give Maria a moment to come on audio. Takes a second.
Hi.
Hey, yeah,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So I'm going to set the audience up and then I'm going to go away. So, so you all, your job, so Maria is going to be way more interesting than Gina. So your tendency is going to want to, pay very close attention to Maria, which makes total sense. But I'm going to ask you to just pay attention to Gina. Like, how is she being? What is she asking? What is she doing? Because after the coaching is done, we'll do a debrief and I'll be getting you to chime in and chat and about what you see. So take some notes, maybe write down some things and questions that you have as we go. And Gina, can I be helpful for you as far as timing?
Yeah, will you let me know when we're at 8 minutes?
8 minutes. And so would you like me to just say it because I'm going to be off camera or come on camera? Just say
Just
it.
audio is fine, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to go away. Hi, Maria. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Hey, Maria.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Thank you for saying yes to this.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited. Definitely looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Me too. Is there anything that you want to design with me or ask for to have this feel good and supportive?
Yes, I have
Oh, good.
a topic for sure.
Okay, you have a topic.
I
And
do.
how about just like anything you need, just like in terms of me as your coach for the next 10 minutes? Anything you need that from me or want from me that would have you feel good and ready?
Um, I mean, aside from guidance, nothing else, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you got it. And if like you're getting more or less of something that
Mhm.
you're wanting, like more fierceness or like, hang on, I actually need to complete this thought, by all means ask for it in the moment. Two quick things I'd love to design with you is, is it okay if I intrude every once in a while? If what do I want to say about this? In coaching, what's unique about coaching compared to a lot of other modalities is a lot of like background and context is often not needed. So sometimes I'll come in and ask a question about something you're sharing. My intention is not to be rude. It's because I hear you sharing something important. Is that okay if I do that from time to time?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is like, are you okay if we move a little bit in this demo. Sometimes it helps to just like wake up the body. I don't know if that will happen, but are you open to some level of that?
Like sitting down, can I move on my chair?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so if
okay with
you're
that.
sitting right now, actually, it's, yeah, I don't even know. I thought you looked like you're standing, but okay, if you're sitting, yeah. So is standing an option for you?
Yeah, but it would take me a little bit because I have to take out stuff from my desk.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah.
know. We'll work from the chair. Okay, cool.
Okay, good.
All right. So you did the Wheel of Life.
I did, but I can't, to be honest, like I did it, but I can't find where I saved it, but I remember my answers. Or I can do it very quickly with you
It's
if
okay.
that's
We
okay.
don't need the whole, yeah, we don't need the whole thing, just as long as you know what it is. And for the
I know
sake
what
of,
it is. Yeah.
oh,
I
good.
mean,
Okay.
yeah.
What's the area that you want to focus on?
It's career.
Ah, okay. And what's your current number for satisfaction?
So it's 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, even if you said that,
Mm.
you're like, it's
Yeah.
some wanting there.
Yeah. I think I definitely am grateful for my job. I think I've like built a relatively successful career, I would say, but I don't feel fulfilled.
Hmm.
Which is why I'm also exploring coaching because I think that may be something that I am interested in. But at the same time, I'm very scared of like leaving my eventually, right? Like leaving a corporate job that brings you like security, like a stable income, etc., to become a coach, which I don't have any experience in. Like I have never done it. I've had a coach before, which I really liked it, and based on that, this is why I want to explore this path. But I've never done it myself, so I am not fulfilled with my career, but I'm scared to pursue something else. So that's
Yeah,
where I'm at. Yeah.
thanks. Well, here's one thing, I'll just be straight up with you. I am not attached to you going in the coaching direction or not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
what's best for you. Okay, so I'm not going to be pushing you in any particular direction. I just want to, because I'm a coach, so I have a bias here. I think it's a
Yeah.
fabulous profession. And my job is for you to get clear on what's right for you and what some clarity around your next steps.
Mm-hmm.
So what would make this next, 8 minutes a really good use of your time? Like, what would you love to have insight on by the end of this conversation? Even just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it would be like exploring kind of like that blockers that not allow me to pursue something else. Like I think one of those is like fear for sure.
Mhm.
But so I'm trying to like take it step by step and like take this like for example information sessions, just learn a little bit more about coaching, like not go full on to like a class. Um,
Yeah.
so I think understanding like what is preventing me to do something else because I think that I have the willingness, like I want to do it,
Yeah.
but it's just like I kind of like I hold myself back.
Yeah.
Um,
You're even
yeah,
I don't know if you notice when it's like, yeah, I'm holding myself back and you're having this experience of like, there's a blocker.
yeah, yes,
Okay. 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 Well, why don't we do a little time traveling?
okay.
Um, let's say that it's like 2 years in the future. This would be 2026, May 28th, 2026. And things have really worked out in your career. And you're like what number would you want to be at in 2 years from 1 to 10 in terms of
Um,
satisfaction?
like 9 or 10.
Great, let's go for the 10.
Yeah.
You're at a 10 in your career, okay? And don't worry so much about how you got there for now. Okay, let's kind of park that on the side, but just like check out for you. I want you to daydream a little. 2 years from now, you're at a 10. What's happening in your career?
I think the first things that come to my mind are having like a flexible schedule that I
Hmm?
can create myself. So like being able to create my own days or my own like schedule.
Yeah.
Um, while having time to dedicate to my family or like friends or whatever else I want to do. I also like working with people,
Yep.
helping them. So like I see that I don't know like what exact form,
It's
but I
okay.
see
Yeah, it's okay. Just focus on the bits you do have. Yeah, you know,
yeah,
this is where we start. Go ahead. Yeah, keep
yeah.
going.
Um, I also see myself doing multiple things, not only one, right? So like not having like one like job, but like having multiple, or maybe like a couple
Yeah, I'm
doing
guessing you have like a value of variety. Like you kind of like to do
yeah,
more
yeah,
things. Is that
yeah.
accurate?
It is, yeah. So I think I've been thinking about like I don't know, there's like this idea that I have around like cooking for other people. So I see myself like doing that, like meal prepping, something like that. But well, I see myself happy for sure because I think I have the ability to manage my schedule and do things that I
Yeah.
really enjoy,
Yeah.
and that are fulfilling.
You know, as you're talking, Maria, I'm actually seeing that wheel of life because your 10 in career actually includes all of these other elements. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's cooking there, there's flexibility there, there's time with friends, and I think you mentioned family as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
It's really a holistic kind of vision. Am I
Mm-hmm.
tracking?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what's it like to visit this version of your career, the 10 vision of your career?
It makes me happy.
I
If I
can see
just like
you
think about
smiling. I
it,
can,
makes
there's
me
like
happy.
a little twinkle. I caught a little twinkle in your eye when you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me happy for sure just to think about it. But then when I really think about it, I'm like, how am I supposed to like get there?
Yeah, it's really natural for that to happen. It's like, whoop, come back to
Yeah.
reality, come back to
Yeah.
reality. And as much as you can, let's stay with this, the part that makes you happy. This is your
Mm-hmm.
compelling vision. And the way these
Mm-hmm.
things work is it's going to pull you forward.
That's 8.
Thank you, Shannon. So knowing that you've now spent some time in this compelling vision for you, you have an idea of where your career, what you want there and what it
Yeah.
feels like. What is something you can do now in the near term to move toward that vision?
Um, so it's something that I've been thinking about a little bit, like for example, on the cooking situation, like maybe I can start like creating a business plan or something like that that I already know how to do. And it's nothing that I have to publish or anything, it's just for myself.
Yeah.
Um, and then on
So
the
come
working
up
with,
with a business plan for
yeah,
your cooking business.
yeah, yeah. I think what I'm scared is like to do it, right? But if I do a business plan, which is only for me, I don't have to
Okay,
execute on it.
what's the smallest first step? The business plan is going to happen. You're going to do that. And what's the first step? Let's break it down even smaller, decrease the
Like
resistance.
write it down, kind of like the like a high level goal or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, like
Are
just put it
you
on
are you
paper.
are you seeing writing it down? Like, does this make a difference for you? Or are you more like
So
this?
the
What
writing like pen and paper. Yeah.
pen to paper, let's get it down.
Yeah.
Will you do that by tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. I can do that like tomorrow. That's
Okay.
not scary.
So let's the heat just a little bit. What do you want to have complete by the end of the week?
I wanna write down my idea for the like business that I want to explore, just like a high level idea. That's it.
A high level idea for your business plan.
Yeah.
Will you do that by Friday?
Yeah, I can do that by Friday.
And the deal is you get to say yes, no, or counter offer. You don't need
Yeah.
to say yes to
No,
this.
I think I can do it. Yeah, if it's a high level, for sure I can do it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How committed are you to this from 1 to 10? 10 being I'm very committed, 1 being like, yeah, I might do it.
You're writing it?
To both of the action steps you're going to take this week.
Hmm. I am I'm 8. I'm a little scared, but I'm committed at the same time. But I'm more towards like I'm gonna do it, more inclined to like doing it than not doing it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what will help keep you accountable to yourself?
Mm, I think maybe like words of affirmation. for myself, like from myself to myself, to like
What
not be, sorry, to,
What is it? What's the affirmation you want to give yourself?
mm, I think what helps me usually is like to think about it as like a very tiny step, like it's not a big deal, like you're not like launching anything yet. It's just like a little,
Can I give you a suggestion?
yeah.
One step at a time,
Mhm.
no step too small.
Yeah, I like that.
I saw you relax into it. Good.
Hmm. I like it.
Have fun.
Thank you.
You're you're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to bring everybody back.
Oh, I can hear you.
Uh-oh, I think your coach disappeared. So I'll see, it's all improv. So Maria, anything else you need to be complete with this coaching?
No, I really enjoyed the session. I think it was very helpful. I think it let me like put together my thoughts, even though I was thinking about it a little bit before. It was super helpful, and also like having next steps already to complete. I think it's also good to keep you like on track without being too scary. So yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for volunteering, and I'm looking forward to seeing your cooking show on Cooking Network.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you, Maria.
care. Mhm. All right, we had to that I was just saying improv, beautiful demo. So you relax. I'm sure that was just weird glitch. I see lots of love. Diego, you already started. Beautiful acknowledgement in the chat. If anyone wants to drop a little acknowledgement in the chat for our beautiful client, Maria, a little word of encouragement, have at it.
Mhm.
I want to know what Maria is going to cook for us.
Yeah.
Maria, please feel free to drop that in the chat.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm,
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you all. And so, oh, I just love these. This is great.
Yeah. You're very alive. Um, go forward with positivity, beautiful journey, brave. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So, we're going to talk about the coaching now, like we do when we're in a coactive classroom. And so you're gonna say maybe, what did you see? Drop in the chat if there was anything that you noticed about what Gina asked or how she was being. I saw that it's so natural. Yeah, it's a good, deep conversation. Yes, no counteroffer is a coactive thing. Yes, it's a request. So we say, will you do this? And they can yes, no counteroffer. So it's
Yeah.
really not about getting the right request. It's just about getting the conversation about what's next started. Yeah, designed. Okay, so I'm going to start with the designed alliance in the beginning. So this is an integral part of our model. We design both the relationship, over time. So, and we also design by the sessions, and it can be as simple as, what do you want coaching on? How do you want this session to look? And it can also be more about, how do you need me to be? Do you need me to be more fierce, more, and permission to design that? And is it okay if I intrude, knowing that I don't need all the backstory? Because did you notice Gina didn't need any backstory? We didn't need to know what the corporate situation was like, where it was, nothing like that. It's just not necessary. So that was the beginning. Gina, you want to say anything about that while I'm checking the chat?
Sure. We also, you may have noticed that client picked their own topic. So what didn't happen was we didn't look at the whole wheel of life and then have me say, well, such and such wedge is out of one, so we better work on this. In every coactive session, though we do often set coaching goals for an engagement, and for every session, the client is determining what it is that they want to discuss.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful about that is it's not, and what's unique to the coaching relationship, coactive coaching relationship, we are not telling the client what to do. We're not coming in as the experts in how to live a life. We hold the client as, here's another cornerstone of our model, naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. They're the experts on their life. We're the experts on coaching.
That's right. So I want to just speak to some of you guys are brilliant. You're totally seeing, wanting you to see. So embodiment, articulation, request, thinking into the future question. So that is a skill that we call visioning. Did you notice, my guess is you noticed that the client wanted to know what was blocking her, what was in the way. This is something that newer coaches can get really focused on, because it feels like we need to know a lot about that to move beyond it. And in actuality, not so much, because often a compelling vision will pull the person through the fear. Like the vision, when it's steeped in the client's values, their longings, their purpose, is so compelling that the fear gets a little smaller. So we train our coaches to focus on the vision. I mean, the fear, we can also pay attention to the fear. But did you notice how lit up Maria got when she started talking about what she wanted? That lit up energy, we call it resonance. That's the creative force. And that is actually what makes change happen. It's kind of flow state energy. So that's what we really cultivate in our clients.
Yeah, it's like fanning the flames of a fire that's just getting started. Yeah, that's kind of the energy in this type of coaching.
Yep. So then I just wanted to speak into open questions. Yes, powerful questions that often they start with what. So I wrote down a couple, like, what would you love to have? Like, that is a question for the ages. The most basic, powerful coaching question is, what do you want? And if you ask yourself that, like, take a little practice of asking yourself that over the next few days, and just notice that it brings energy, it brings vision, it brings clarity and focus. Yeah. And so Gina asked a lot of versions of that. What do you want?
Yeah. What do you want? What are you longing for? And then, and then there are times, to what Shannon's saying, there are times when it grows, right? It's like, oh, it feels resonant. Then there are other times where the what do you want question can actually feel very affronting. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm coming to coaching.
Yeah, which is all good too, right? It's all good information.
Yeah. And so how we work with that, first of all, it helps to be able to ask the question many different ways. And what you will find as a coach is like, and as a client who maybe is struggling to see what it is that you want, you know more than you think you do about what that is. We make the mistake of thinking, well, to have a vision, it needs to be like, I have to have a full, complete picture of what this thing is that I want. It's often not that clear. So we're in the coaching work, sort of getting clearer and clearer and feeling into the pieces of the vision that are clear until it just begins to take more and more shape.
I want to speak to, and I want to say, before we go to this one, I want to say the body language. Yes. And something that Gina did brilliantly is a skill that we call articulate what's going on. And it's naming what we're noticing. And so sometimes it's what the client's doing physically. Sometimes maybe it's a change in the tone of voice, something they said that feels like, and so we're actually having, we're holding up a mirror because we can't see ourselves in terms of, we don't always notice as clients when, let's say, like our voice drops, our energy changes, or we crinkle our nose, or, and all of those things are really, really powerful in terms of eliciting more information, that the client may not be aware of on a kind of logical level.
Yeah.
And so there's a question in the chat. At some point, we will need to drive the client in a direction to allow us to complete our set objectives, say by the 6th session, yada. So, I think, Imran, it depends. I think in our model, and as we mentioned, we use it in corporate, et cetera. The client really sets the agenda. And sometimes the set objective changes in the course of the relationship. And so we stay current each session with our client around, we set this as the objective. Is this still it? Because as the client goes deeper, things change, like the wheel of life, right? It changes hour by hour. So it's about holding the focus. Yes, absolutely. And also being flexible enough to stay current with what's happening now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say anything else about that, Gina.
Yeah, what Shannon's saying is so spot on. It's like sometimes it happens internally, and I'm trying to think of an example for this. So like in a corporate context, for instance, let's say we're coaching a leadership client and they have a goal of becoming more confident with their becoming more confident as like a public speaker or something. I don't know, more commanding presence. And then what they discover is that actually they're an introvert. They love being an introvert, and the vision for what the kind of leader they thought they wanted to be, big, outspoken, boisterous, doesn't actually feel that great. And so they find their way into like a blend of what that might be. In other cases, things change circumstantially. So I'm working on having more presence as a leader, and then suddenly there are, there's a reorg. And
or a
rifts.
global pandemic.
Or a global pandemic. So the goals can shift, and that in which case we check in, and in all likelihood, whatever it is their goals are in the bigger scheme of things, whatever's happening in real life, in real time, is practice ground for them to grow into that goal, even when it's seemingly unrelated.
Mm-hmm. So I'm noticing that we're starting to morph into the Q&A, and that's amazing because that's where we're going. And so I just want to follow up with Imran, and then we're going to move on to somebody else's questions. So if you have a question for us, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And Imran, it actually works for private clients as well. It's like, each session you can be like, how are we doing? Or you could assign them some homework around, you said this was your, intention. We have 3 sessions left. Like, where do you want to be when we get there? Right. So it's always a conversation. Always a conversation. We don't have to drive them because we're not always going to be there to drive them. So, and it's our job really to get curious about, you said you wanted this, but something else feels more important. What's going on? Not in a judgy way or making assumptions kind of way, but in a curious way.
Yeah. I have a question from Jacqueline. How do you approach a situation when the client may get emotional during the conversation?
We've got a course for that.
We do.
Our 4th course is 3 days of that.
Yeah. It's part of we mentioned the one of the cornerstones of our model is focus on the whole person. That includes mind, body, spirit, emotions. Much as it would sometimes seemingly be more convenient to kind of check those emotions at the door. There's actually a ton of information in there. And it happens all the time where clients are moved or clients are afraid to create change. It's actually a very normal human response. So it's our job as coaches to be equipped when we encounter that, not to make it go away, but to actually include it as more data points.
And I just want to say that, fear of emotions is very common and natural. And we really hold that emotions are actually coaching gold. Nobody cries unless they're talking about something that matters to them. So there's longing there, maybe there's some pain there, but all of it is, we teach you how to explore it in a way that's very supportive and helps smooth the energy. So we really normalize it. We're doing powerful work here with humans, and humans, we get emotional. So we actually really, I think we do a great job of just kind of helping you get comfortable with that.
Yeah,
There was a
absolutely.
question up that I want to make sure we don't miss. When would you have the client move around? Thanks, Wendy, for that question. Honestly, anytime. The body is such a brilliant creativity machine. So a lot of what we're doing in coactive coaching is helping the client bypass the analytical problem solving mind, because we spend a lot of time there and we've usually exhausted those resources. And so we're actually helping them find some deeper wisdom in the body, in the emotions, in the creative self. So we use the body all the time.
Yeah, because the truth is, if they had the answer, they would have done it by now.
That's right.
So we're widening the perspective, and the head is part of the body. It's just one part. So we're widening the focus to other areas of information, so the client can use it. Let's see. I'm just going to go with what I'm seeing here. What training in somatics and body work is included? So you want to take this one, Shannon?
Yeah, sure. It's a thread that's pulled throughout the whole curriculum. So particularly starting in the third course, but you may see it and utilize it as early as the first course. So we use embodiment as coactive coaches. We in various ways, sometimes as general as like, let's stand up. Sometimes again, noticing changes in face or tone, or, we may notice that the client puts their hand on their heart as they're talking, and we may ask them to, like, what's going on under there, right? So we're always curious with the body, we're less often doing specific sort of techniques. It's really more woven into our being with the entirety, the whole person, as Gina mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it's something we're always curious about as coactive coaches.
Yeah. Let's see.
I saw something about in-person versus online, and if there's advantages, disadvantages. I wouldn't say there's disadvantages. You will learn the same thing. And in person is pretty magical. Being in person with other humans learning this work is a particular element that, just isn't quite possible online. And if online it makes it more accessible for you for any reason, you won't be missing out on anything. You'll get excellent training, and it's all experiential. It's not a lot of lectures of just like long days of just like, information overload. It's very participatory. Like, you're going to be practicing, you're going to be clienting, you're going to be coaching. So it's a powerful experience in either forum.
Yeah. So quickly, Purvy, if it's 3 days online, is the content available longer, only for 3 days? There is a couple of online options for 5 days, I believe, so do check that out. And then I love this one. How do you approach when the client answers, I do not know, I do not know? So I have 2 suggestions. One is wait, just be silent. Because often I don't know, it's just, it's like a, right?
Yeah, it's a reflex.
It's a reflex.
Often.
Yeah, and so just let them, just wait. And they'll fill in, they'll then tell you what they do know. Or you could ask them, well, what do you know? Or there's three for the price of one. Or you can say, what's it like to not know? So there you go. 3 possible things to play with.
I'll add a 4th.
Yeah.
Suppose you did know.
Great. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. Can you please both share your perspective on money saboteurs? What helped you? Ew. I'll go. I had to do a lot of work because I was a social worker and I had a lot of kind of blockages around, I don't know, money being yucky and all the things. So I did a lot of work on it actually. And it's a place where a lot of people need to take a good hard look. What are the stories that you make up about it? What do you actually want for it? Your business. And so it's really important if you're thinking about pursuing coaching, especially if you're thinking about hanging a shingle and being a private practitioner, to really do some work around your relationship with money.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
about you, Gina? Anything else?
Oh, just +1 to everything that you said. Yeah, it's personal. Money is personal. And what we learn about it, how we were raised and where we were raised and what work we've done previously, it all informs our relationship. And so it's something that, I work with quite a few entrepreneurs who, that's a lot of the coaching work. Like when you talk about, charging money and rates and
What's
all
my
of
worth and giving value?
Yes.
Yeah.
My worth and what I'm charging tends to get collapsed. And so often we need to pull that apart and depersonalize it a bit.
Yeah. Okay, we are full of questions here. This is great.
Yes.
Uh, email addresses. Hopefully somebody from CTI has dropped those in the chat.
Yeah.
Um,
And Danielle had a question around why CTI over other coaching schools. I am obviously biased to CTI. And to be honest, so I can't speak to what getting certified through another coaching program would be like because I haven't had that experience. So I would just encourage you to, do things like this with the other schools and pick like what feels right for you. And I'll also say that, one of my favorite things about being a professional coach is like, and most coaches I know is like, we kind of geek out on like upping our coaching skills and getting lots of, different certifications and like just geeking out on all kinds of different things you can learn. So you can become certified in one modality, and then train in other places to sort of keep adding to your toolkit. So it's often not a one and done journey when you're, I'm 10 years into my coaching career now, and I've done lots of continued education.
Yeah. But I will say that we are actually the foundation for a lot of other people's models. Let me just so we're kind of the gold standard. And so you can't go wrong. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've signed up for a course and I'm like, wait, they're just teaching coactive coaching skills with different names. So so I think we're one of the founding organizations of the industry, you know, and
Yeah.
50,000 coaches can't be wrong, or whatever the, you know, however many people we've trained now, it's probably a lot more than that by now. So
30
Um,
years, 30-year history, 30-year history.
yeah. So let's see. So there's a little bit more. You do get course material to keep, absolutely, when you take the courses. What do you do about the person's fears? Ryan, this is a brilliant question. We do lots of different things. So the fears that often show up, or the questioning, what if, right? I'm scared to move forward because, you know, that's really, that's a coach's bread and butter, because that's why they're not making a move on their own, right? Because that's happening. And if you notice, anytime you try to step out of a comfort zone, you start going there, right? And so we work with them in a variety of ways. We're not going to go into all of them right now. But just know that that is addressed throughout the curriculum from day one. It has to be, because that sort of, well, what if this happens? And you know, which we call the voices of the saboteurs, will show up in every session, you know, guaranteed, if the client is actually leaving a comfort zone. So we teach you several different ways to work with that. So we don't ignore them. We actually help the client differentiate between that voice, you know, which is a safety mechanism, security blanket, and what they actually want, you know, where they want to stretch, where they want to grow.
Yeah. We're getting some endorsements in the chat here. I'm going to say them out loud for our webinar peeps who will watch this on recording. Mo is offering that the heart at the heart of the model is something I find myself yearning for wherever else I go.
Beautiful, Mo. Thank you.
Jennifer did her CTI coaching all virtual during the pandemic, and it was fantastic. I don't feel that I missed out on anything not being in person. You know, the other thing to mention is once you take any of the courses, you are then qualified to assist. We have assistants in all of our courses, and they help us manage a variety of things, both online and in person. So take the courses, and then if you want to experience them online or in person, whatever the opposite of what you encountered as an actual participant, you can always come back in. We love having assistants who, you know, want a refresh of the coactive model. And someone else offered that the CTI network is quite strong. It is absolutely a benefit of taking your coach training with CTI that you have a wide global network of coaches who are there to support and champion you. So that is certainly a benefit.
Just want to make sure we get in there. We know we've got 3 minutes left, that we have a special offer for coactive fundamentals, and you can save up to $150 off the course. The link is in the chat. And we would love to see you either online or in person. We both lead both. So also, you know, if you have further questions, please feel free. You can certainly reach out to me on socials. I'm on LinkedIn and website shannonkelly.com. Gina, if you want to
say it.
Feel free to reach out and ask a question or say hi.
Absolutely. We are delighted to support you in all the ways. If you have questions specific to the program and logistics, do send those to CTI. And if we can support you as on the faculty front, Shannon, what's your website, Shannon?
shannonkelly.com.
And GinaRestani.com.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn.
Yep. So all right.
All right. So drop into chat one thing you are taking away just for you from this session. We'd love to hear from y'all as a way to close out this call.
One takeaway.
One takeaway. Inspiration. Yes, we delivered. How presence is important. Yes. Maria, our client, thank you again for saying yes to this.
Mm,
To you.
They really can happen in 10 minutes.
Yes, the value of coaching, visioning, and what coaching looks like. Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for joining.
Thanks for being our little cheering section from behind. I wish we could see each one of you, but it's great to know that you're out there, and we hope to see you in a classroom in the future.
Yes.